mammal efficiencies. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Gnananjalachalakaya Chakshuranmitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutala Srimate Ramapada Swaminiti Namane. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutala Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti. Namaste Saraswati Devi Kamaravani Pracharini Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatavare. So we are continuing the book, Japa book, chapter 19, and this chapter is primarily focused on the practical questions and answers. So currently on page 120, question: if the Lord's pastimes come to mind while I'm chanting, should I allow such thoughts to enter or shut them out and instead only focus on the sound of the name? No, we should not shut out such thoughts, but neither should we try to bring them in artificially. Let such thoughts go to your chanting with extra sweetness. When they come naturally, they won't stop you from hearing the holy names. If it's late and I still have rounds left, I'm tired. Should I chant the rounds or save them for the next day when I can chant with more attention? If you are asking me about the best thing to do, I had have to say that it is the best to chant attentively on that day. We should try to hear the holy name. It's the same simple instruction. Try to listen. When devotees are are pure and spiritually strong, then no matter how tired they are, when they touch the holy name, their consciousness awakens. But for those of us who are not so pure, it's sometimes better to take a little rest and then chant, or to bathe and refresh the body. Fresh air can also help. Next question. I find sometimes that I have to finish my rounds to the on the train because I travel a lot. It's probably not the best place to chant. It does not matter where we chant, whether on the train or somewhere else. The point is to chant where we can listen to the name. If chanting on the train means you have to chant softly, you can consider using a technique that increases your hearing. Some devotees chant by holding a hand cupped around one ear. This channels the sound from the mouth to the ear. Or they will earplugs, which seems to amplify the voice. What makes chanting on a train hard is the distractions and not wishing to appear stranger. Still, the principle is to listen. If you can listen on the train, then you can chant there. Hundreds of years ago, Gaudiya sadhus protected themselves from materialistic sounds by chanting in underground caves. Those sages were concerned about the vibration people were creating with their gossip and the ethereal disturbance it caused. Imagine what we deal with nowadays with radio, television, the internet, and mobile phone waves, all of which disturb the ether. Chanting is difficult in this age. But if somehow or other you can hear the holy names, whether it requires that you get up a little earlier or adjust in some other way, you will gain great benefit. And because it's difficult in Kali Yuga to control the mind, you should gather with others for Sankirtana. How do I distinguish between my mind simply being inattentive and when I am inattentive as a result of having offended someone? It seems if I have committed an offense, I will not be able to focus on the holy name. Yes, the effect of offending devotees is that we lose taste, but we can't worry about that while we are chanting. Just listen, otherwise we will again be tricked by the mind. Oh, maybe I am not paying attention to my chanting because I committed an offense. I wonder whom I offended today. I should not do that again. I should apologize. But then we won't hear anything. We should not worry about anything while we are chanting because the best cure for offenses is to chant constantly. Of course, if we know we did something offensive, we should ask forgiveness. But in any case, the cure is constant chanting. Don't become entangled in all these worries. Just try and listen to the holy name. At the same time, we should be wary of committing offenses whenever we are not chanting. But when we are chanting, simply listen. To not listen to the holy name is in itself offensive. So just listen to Krishna's holy names. Japa time is not for thinking about our life. Sometimes offering drives me to the holy name, but how do I actually take shelter there? One problem we may face when we approach the name out of suffering is this. Instead of approaching the name of our service, we approach to have our suffering removed. Such an attitude will not give us Shuddhana because our chanting is contaminated by the self centered desire for liberation. The second problem we may face is that the mind will tend to revisit the suffering while we are chanting, but we can simply listen to the name, driven to Krishna's shelter as we are by our pain. If we endlessly cultivate our desire to serve Krishna and make our prime focus attentive hearing, we will be able to chant more purely. Next question. Using uh, using the one mantra technique is harder when walking while chanting japa. The mind is so easily wanders as is distracted by the place where I am walking. Do you have any advice on how to chant attentively while walking a japa walk? While taking a japa walk. It is undoubtedly difficult to control the mind, but chanting japa means to listen to the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We have to accept this definition and work with it if we wish to chant offenselessly. Pramada, inattention to the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is an offense. If we were taking a walk with Prabhupada, we would be at the center of the walk. If we were to say, in Prabhupada's presence, look at how beautiful these daffodils are. Look at the green hills and fluffy white cloud being driven by the wind. Let me see what's over here. He would consider us sightseers rather than serious spiritual aspirants, and neither would there be any value to our having been with Prabhupada. Similarly, if we wish to admire the beauty of the area where we are walking, then we can go on parikrama. But going on a japa walk means going out with the understanding that we are chanting the holy name and all our attention should be fixed on that. Again, unless we understand the technique of chanting attentive japa and become determined enough to follow it, then whether we are walking or sitting, we will not be able to pay attention. We are accustomed to touring the universe when we chant japa. We are free to continue our touring, but if we wish to chant and attain the promised results, we must chant attentively. I also noted that sadhus in Vrindavana who are in an internal and introspective mode or who are chanting seriously while walking tend to look solely at the ground directly in front of them as they walk. This practice helps them focus their thoughts and also informs others to allow them their privacy. Downcast eyes serves as a sort of non-verbal do not disturb sign. In my opinion, offering chanters this type of respect would be a positive addition to our ISKCON culture. Jai. I will stop it here, and these are very great questions and practical answers provided by Maharaj in this session. I mean, in this chapter. So, as we know that there are not many things, these are very straightforward question answers to summary, but in a short, uh, mm, these all we will struggle with all these practical questions either every day, technically speaking. So, Mara saying very simple way, whatever the activities efforts we will put on chanting, all the end summary is that we need to able to hear that mantra. That's it. Whether you will chant in the morning, afternoon, evening, or else some other place, home or office, whatever it is, we need to make our circumstance, our surroundings, favorable to our things. That is to summarize. Uh, not to summarize. The summary is that we need to be able to hear that Maha Mantra. That's one thing. Second thing is that sometimes we are lazy. That is very practical question in page 120. Oh, if I'm tired, I have few rounds left, and can I chant tomorrow? No. The best thing is that Maharaj saying you need to finish that on that day because next day it will be different. It's a new day. another consciousness, some other thing will come and it will delay because I have seen practically as well. Thank you, Maharaj. So we need to improve our practice in that way. We need to finish no matter whatever it is on that day with attentive. And so one of the question is that where I can chant in train, whatever it is, you can chant every other place. Again, the summary is that we need to be able to hear that Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Whether you can use earplugs or hand coupled around 1 year, whatever the situation, you will make it. And next thing, while going for Japa walk, we need to focus on our walk and chanting, not on the surroundings, so that we are able to do our chanting nicely. So here, Maharaj also quoted very good example. In the Vrindavan, they go for Japa walk, but they will focus only on the walk and Japa. Other than that, they won't see surroundings, even though the surroundings so beautiful over there.